G'day folks, it's Cortezerino. You know, a while ago I brought you this design for my easiest villager trading hall. It's a design that you can build in the first couple of hours of starting a new world. There's 0 redstone and it's a really simple way it works. There's a guy up top there farming away and he'll throw food down to these guys in the boats and they will start breeding. Their babies then drop down the bottom here. And when they grow up, they step on that bit of carpet, and if there's an empty spot in one of the boats above, they'll pop straight up into it. And this means when you get tired of a dude or his trades aren't very good, Fletcher, yucky, you can just give them a manual chop, and if there's a guy underneath ready to come up, he'll pop straight into the boat. It is a very simple trading hall. But I designed this as just an early game one, so I figured, yes, after a while when you get more resources, you could change this into your just a villager breeder, replace the carpet with a water stream, and send the babies off to your new trading hall. But what if you like this design and you want to keep it? Well, 16 villagers isn't really enough for a good trading hall. So can we make it bigger? Yes, we certainly can, because of the simplicity of the design. All you could do is just make another row of boats on this side, another one on that side, and let these guys run around to those, and it's as simple as that. But there's not a lot of finesse to that. So what is a better design we can do that's super compact and even more powerful? So this is what I came up with. This trading hall has 64 villagers in it to trade with. It is huge. One drawback I will point out straight away is rather than being in a hall where you're in the center and the villagers are all around you, you do have to run around the outside to get to them. But the good points are there are 64 villagers in there here, and all of them are potential breeders. This guy's going to feed them, but also when you trade with them, they are going to become willing to breed. But that's not all. There is a second villager breeder down below, because once all your boats fill up, and we start getting extra villagers just sitting around here doing nothing, well, we might as well put them to work. So we've got more crops down the bottom, so as soon as you get a farmer or two down there, they will start harvesting and throwing the food around and will breed even more villagers. Trust me, if you're building this on a server and it's full of villagers, you don't want to forget about it for a few weeks because you'll probably crash the server. This thing cranks out the villagers. So you might have noticed in the other design, I had the guy all alone in the village up the top. Now I've got him down the bottom, and this way he still can't see any of the villagers up here. He thinks he's the only guy in the village, but everyone else can still see him, so they all want to start breeding because the village, they think, only has one villager in it. So even though this is a much, much larger design, guys, it is still just as easy to build early game as the other design is. You just need a bit more wool. That shouldn't take you too long to get. But anyway, let me crack on with the tutorial. Now you're going to want to start with a line of glass blocks that's 17 blocks long. And just like my other design, these don't have to be made out of glass. You can make them out of solid blocks if you like. I just like to be able to see into my villages. Now we're going to bring this line down by another 2 blocks all the way along. So you've got your wall that's 17 blocks long and 3 blocks high. I want you to come along to the top here and put 2 glass panes out like so, and then bring this line all the way down and we'll connect it at the other end. So now I want you to come along and every second block place another glass pane, and this is where our boats are going to go. Then you can grab some trapdoors and just underneath place a line of them all the way along. Now on each end, I want you to come out 1 glass pane like so with a glass block on the end, and we'll do the same on this side, glass block right on the end, and this is where we're going to make another line of glass blocks that's 17 long. So now we've got our next 2 walls in, just set them up exactly as we've done on this side. So that's 3 walls done. We just need to put the last one in. So put another glass pane on each end here with a glass block on the end of that. And we'll just take it all the way over and complete this wall. Now this is a little bit tedious. We're going to go and put a boat inside each of these. So just face all your boats in the same direction, and that way all your villagers are looking in the same direction. It just looks a lot neater. And go ahead and put all your boats in, and if a boat's a little bit wonky, if it's not straight enough, just jump in it and give it a bit of a steer. So once all your boats are in place, just go ahead and run around and open all the trapdoors. So next we're going to build the farmland that we have down the bottom. So come along to each of these corners, place a solid block right there, and then come down 1, 2, 3 more, and we'll just quickly do that on each side. Now grab any block you like. This isn't going to be a visible block. It's going to have carpet over the top, so you can use cobblestone if you like. And we're going to connect all of these poles. So now we've got our border in. We're just going to do this one more time. We want this border to be 2 blocks wide. So now that's in place, grab your dirt blocks and fill in the rest. Okay, we've got our dirt floor in. Now it's time to grab your carpets and place a piece of carpet on every block that is not dirt. So now we're going to place some water to hydrate our earth. So come along to a corner and counting in diagonally, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then knock out number 4. And we'll do this in each corner. 1, 2, 3, knock out number 4. Then come underneath, and so our water doesn't run away, just place a block underneath each of these, and then you can go up above and put a bucket of water in there. Now we don't want our villagers falling into this water, so above the water place a block, and we're going to build that up 3 high on each of these little pools of water, and then grab yourself some torches to provide light for our crops. Just place torches on the center block here all the way around. So next we're going to make a spot for the guy who thinks he's the only guy in the village. So find the center block and replace that with a piece of glass, because the doors that he's around will need sky access, so you can never block off this bit of glass. Now you want to come underneath and be careful to get the height of this right, because if you get it wrong, they're not going to breed. So from that piece of glass, we're going to count down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then knock out those 4 blocks, and we'll come out 3 on each side here. 1, 2, 3. You can place a torch in the middle because we don't want zombies down here. And facing toward that bit of glass, 3 doors on each side. Now you're probably building this section underground, so you might not have to worry about this step because the doors will already be surrounded by solid blocks. But if there isn't any solid blocks around here, just place some at the back of the doors there, and that will act as the ceiling. And just make sure there are no blocks obscuring the light access for these doors. Then all we need is a villager. I'm just going to pop one into a boat so he doesn't run away. If I can place the boat, there we go. And as I mentioned before, this farm will breed villagers like crazy. So if you ever want to shut it off, just block the light access for the doors. You could do that with a sticky piston if you wanted to, or you could just come down here and place the block. Alright, the next bit is super fun. We've got to go around and till all of the earth, and then once you've done that, plant your carrots or potatoes in here. You could plant carrots and potatoes if you wanted to, it doesn't matter. Now I'm going to be a bit lazy and not plant all of the carrots, but if you're building this early game, you're not going to have that many crops anyway, so just plant what you have, and once you get a farmer in here, he'll end up planting the rest for you. So now we're going to put our second layer of farmland up the top, and the corners for that are going to be right there. So just place one in each corner, then connect them all and fill in your square. Now when you're filling this in, don't cover up the top of these pillars, because you guessed it, that's where our next bucket of water is going to go. And we're going to do that on each of these pillars, and also leave the center block free so the doors have light access. So before we put our glass block in here so the villager doesn't fall down, now is as good a time as any to get our first villagers into here. So where you want to place your first two is come along to whichever side you want. And I've got all the boats facing in this direction. So we're going to put them, the first two, in this boat here. So if they end up throwing their food forwards, it's just going to hit a wall and they'll get it back. So to get them into the boat, just drop them down this hole and push them over here. And as soon as they hit the carpet, they'll go straight up into the boat. And make sure you get your first two in one boat. And if you've got more than two, sure, fill up more boats. It'll just make everything work a little bit quicker. So you can now block off that hole with a piece of glass so your doors still have the light access. And unlike before where we did pillars straight up like this, we're not going to have babies up here, so we don't have to worry about them running down into that bit of water. So you only need a block up here to stop the adult from getting in. And just like down below, we're going to surround this with torches to light up our crops. So another fun bit now, we're going to till all of the earth and plant some more carrots or potatoes. And again, I'm being lazy, and let's just say I didn't have enough carrots to finish planting all of them. That's okay, when I get a farmer in here, he'll do that for me. So now we have to make a way of the farmer being able to throw food down to these guys in the boats, but he won't fall off. So in each of these corner pillars, I want you to bring them up another 3 blocks. And then right across the very top of that block, we're going to put a layer of slabs. So now he'll still be able to throw the food down easily, but he can't walk off the edge. And just remember, guys, if a zombie gets in here, it's all over. So make sure you light everything up properly, alright? We don't want any zombie spawns in here. Now there's not much room to stand here at the moment to look at these villages and to trade with them. So I'm just going to build a little bit of a platform all the way around the farm. Alright, we don't have a farmer in there yet, but as soon as he starts throwing food to these guys and they start sharing it between themselves, if they throw their food out in this direction, they're not going to be able to reach it again. So just place a line of glass panes all the way along here. This will keep their food within arm's reach so they can get it back, and it'll also stop us from falling down into the boats. Okay, so if you're super duper worried about zombies, like I haven't really designed anything here, but I'm sure you could do some sort of contraption like this so you can still trade with them, but it will keep all the zombies out. But I just prefer to make sure I've lit up everything properly. Now we have to get a farmer in here. Now I'm going to use the spawn egg. Actually, no, I won't. I will show an easy way of doing it. Because I built this in survival the other day, and there was not a farmer to be seen in the village, so I had to breed one myself. So what I did is, I became the farmer for a while. I just harvested the carrots myself and threw it down to those guys, and waited for them to make their own farmer. So let's just pretend that's happening now. Let's go down the bottom and make a farmer. Is that one? Did we get one on the second try? We may have. Let's just get up here again. Did we? Yes, we did. Okay, so they've made a farmer. We've got him sitting there in the boat, but we don't want him there in the boat. We want him up there. All you have to do is just make sure he can't run off in any crazy direction and break the boat. And he should pop straight up to here. So let's... we don't need you. We can kill you off anyway. Now we break the boat. And he'll just pop up to here. We'll let him in and he'll see the crops and want to go harvest them. So that's the easy way to get a farmer. Get in there. Go. Now to replace this boat, you will have to break a few of these blocks just to get it to go in. And just make sure your little farmer doesn't run down there when you do it. So that is it, guys. That's the farm complete. Now it will take a while to get running. This guy's got to harvest the crops once they've grown, throw it to these guys, and then they'll start breeding. But you can speed it up by trading with these guys. Then they'll also become willing to breed. And what I would do is let the top section get completely full of villagers before I start hacking away at the nitwits, because they're breeders. Let them breed, wait till you've got 20 or so guys down the bottom and this thing is really cranking, and then start picking off the guys you don't want. So leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Cheers, I'm Cortezerino. See you later.